Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 14 of Big Talk with STAWELA. So, this episode, we're just gonna recap a couple of the episodes that we've done. I'd like to thank everybody that's been watching, everybody that's been subscribing, everybody that hit the notification button, everybody that has shared the link to their friends and family. I really appreciate it. So, today on episode 14, we're just gonna go through a minute or so of every episode we've done so far. Thank you very much. And as I say, the business of your playlist defines you. Still up and running. Hit Sipo up with your contact. Hit him up with your favorite playlist. Get your barcode on. Get your AQ tip lifestyle on. So let's just go through the episodes. The first one we did, man, and this is the episode with the most views. Shout out to Madala, man. He was the first person I ever interviewed. You know, I'd like to say thank you to him because he worked hard on making sure that the first episode was really rotating out there. You know, a lot of people did watch it. And it was a very interesting conversation I had with him because I know him personally, so talking to him was very easy, you know, and he got into depth about everything that's happening with him and the lifestyle of Clegs Up and music, and he talked a whole lot about the background of music, you know, so that conversation was very interesting. Shout out Madala. And then the second episode we did, let me just click on it quick, it was Stanza, Wapopota, you know, personally my favorite poet in the province. The boy loves his culture, Sotho speaking man, but he does most of his poetry in Setswana. From Lodoronstad, Akokakala. So, hey, the way he expressed himself, the way he talked about the education system and how us as Northwest, we're not really in touch with representing or promoting our culture like other provinces. When you step into Natal and all that, you feel the Zulu presence, you know. So, he was on about how more can be done for Northwest to become a tourist attraction. In furthermore, how people of his art, whether it's dancing or poetry, can make money out of people visiting Northwest and other local entities, the departments of treasury, departments of arts and culture, how they can play a hand in making their life better in terms of them having more work to do. You know, and then let's go to episode 3. Episode 3 was a game changer in a way because we went to speak with Champ, the fitness guru, you know. He works at the mines, but in his spare time, you can catch him at the gym, you know. So his episode was very, very, very intriguing because he spoke something totally different compared to what we were speaking with when we were talking with Stanza and Madala, because that was music and entertainment. So his podcast was more about lifestyle, you know, how what you do, what you eat, and how you think also affects your body, you know. So he was on how he guarantees that if you start exercising, you can eliminate a couple of things, you know, your high blood pressure, certain heart diseases and stuff like that. So his conversation was very enlightening because we live a very unhealthy lifestyle, you know. So thank you very much, Champ. Wish you all the best. And then we went to episode 4. Now this one was a nice episode because we are talking about local film producers. This movie, Amatutau. Please go on and find out where you can watch it and help it grow because it was very intriguing to watch. And then we go to episode 4. So episode 4 was very nice, man. I'm not gonna lie. We spoke to the people of Northwest TV. Northwest, it used to be Northwest Platinum. So the studio operations is in Henry Potterfield Street, you know, opposite Love School Ini, that side. So the movie Amatuta, you know, it speaks on high school issues right now of young people, the millenniums, and the issues they're dealing with. So I was lucky enough to speak with the director and the main actors of the movie, and they went around promoting it, Northwest, Free State, Josie, and they said if the movie does good, the part 2 will be airing on Netflix. So everybody in and around Klerksdorp Northwest, please help the numbers to grow. Find out where you can watch it. Go to the website, Northwest Platinum TV, and find out exactly how it is you can help so that the movie can grow, so that more of such can happen within Klerksdorp and around Klerksdorp. And then episode 5, episode 5, some people say is their favorite episode. I was speaking with the legend, Papa Gomes, Komla Cash, Tasa. He spoke about his lifestyle, growing up in Val Reeves, his mother moving to England, him being alone in Klerksdorp, him not feeling the school system, him going out and branching into the streets. He speaks of being the first black people in the city to be slanging. He was talking about how they were running with Nigerians, and he also spoke about his interactions with WHP, Morafe, Tuxinganga, and at the end he was talking about Mazamazam and stuff like that. People really enjoyed this episode. It's the episode with the second most views, the highest views we have on the podcast so far. Is the first episode, which touched Madala. But this one, man, I'm not gonna lie, it was also very fun to record because Gomes is very chilled out and easy to talk to, and he's very honest. I must say that he's very honest. He did not hide, he did not hold back. He was straight up forward about everything, all the decisions that he took in order for him to live the lifestyle that he lived, and everything that happened when he got arrested and all of that. So I had fun speaking with Gomes, man. I had fun. I really want to interview him again because that's what you guys want. You guys enjoyed his topic. So yeah, I'm going to do that with him for sure. And then when we get to episode 6, episode 6 was also a game changer because we were in the heart of the CBD with episode 6. Man, we spoke with Cody, a young black man, young black entrepreneur in the heart of CBD. He opened up a thread shop. They recently had an event, at the shop where people were just chilling. There was live music, and Cody was talking about him being a black boy, running around with a skateboard. All the perception of when I with Samuel Dakika skateboard, that culture is not really perceived with black people in Northwest, but he was talking all about that. His love for music, his love for art. He showed us the drawings that he did in his shop, posters that he drew. So man, that interview was really dope, man. Shout out Cody. We got a thread shop in Klerksdorp, Anderson Street. Check it out if you're looking for some exclusive gear. Shout out Cody, man. Keep hustling, beat. And we go to episode 7. Episode 7 was very, 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 very cool. Ritabile, Ritabile, I can still pronounce the surname, Feveros or something. Sorry, Rita. Sorry, Mujela. She was the first female we interviewed, and we told her that they will be the first female interviewing. And I think she ran with it. She raised the bar, she put the level really high up. The interview goes for 2 hours. That's how much she was talking, She was talking about growing up in Val Reeves, moving to Orkney. My parents, she said she has a twin sister. They had like 4 or 5 siblings. So she was speaking on how difficult it is to find your identity in a crowded house, where you fit in. She does painting. She's learning how to do sculptures. She also does portraits, she draws people and stuff like that. And she came through with 2 very big, expensive paintings. I was shocked when she dropped the price. One was 15,000, the other was 25,000. Immediately when she said that, and we were driving back with the paintings in the car, man, I was holding them like a fragile baby, man. Can't pay 15 stacks for a mistake, So Mugela, she was talking very, very honestly about her life, her passion, Now she wants to further grow into her art. So her as the first female, man, thank you very much, Rita. She spoke openly and honestly about everything, her dreams, her ambitions. And I love that interview. And we go to episode 8. Episode 8 in terms of street culture, Motlex, yo, everybody Khutman Mashesha, aka Sushi, go Lagos, go Lagos. You know the epicenter of the Caribbean Monati. He was talking about Nakole Lagos, the fights between Vietnam, Al Qaeda, and Boko. So a lot of people also said that I should interview him again or interview some of his brothers within the Vietnam gang. We're gonna get to that. We'll do more of that, And I love the fact that when we spoke to him, he was honest as well, because it's, for me as a person that's interviewing you, it's very important that you come out as honest as you can be, because the audience relates to honesty, So he was very honest about where he grew up in the Eastern Cape, Western Cape. When he moved to Klerksdorp, he didn't know the language. It took him a while to get into the culture of Klerksdorp, from being far out in Eastern Cape, Western Cape, and moving to Klerksdorp. So man, yeah, I really want to do more interviews with him and his friends, because their honesty is top notch, So they can maybe shed more light to people that don't understand why they do what they do, what the media perceives, and because some of the things, the stories he put straight, or I also me bro, it's actually like this. So I'm most definitely gonna be speaking to him and his brothers more. And then we go to episode 9. The episode 9 was also a game changer. Alicia, in Alabama, she was speaking on how she helps the community and how she asks for nothing. The only thing she asks for is support and time, and those who can help within Alabama for job creation, getting kids out of drugs. She's a part of the police forum. She has some very sensitive topics that she was speaking about in terms of her helping out families in need. So that interview was very great. There was a live soccer match happening in the background, just to give that whole community feel. And her 2 sons were playing. They won. So it was the cherry on top that her sons won. And she's really open-hearted, and she also does events. She also does bachelorette parties. So she's an entrepreneur, a community service person. She's all about benefiting her community. I really had fun speaking with her, man. Too much, I wish people could help her more, NGOs and stuff like that, because Alabama is drug-stricken. There's a lot of violence happening there. So she's doing her part, and she said that she's getting threats from gang members and stuff like that, but she's not fazed. She will continue working. That's a strong woman, and I wish her nothing but more success in terms of her helping out the community. And then we will switch to episode 10 with the MC of Maglera and Tability. This interview was pretty dope, man, because we did it for City Council. We had the statues in the background, we had people moving up and down, and those who know Intability but don't know her life story, she touched on some very sensitive topics of her upbringing that I didn't know, and I've known her for so many years. And people who watched the interview were like, wow, girl, you didn't know what you went through in order for you to be you on TV. So her being that honest, brutally honest like that, man, that really touched me, and it touched a lot of people. Now when people see her, they interact with her differently because they show respect. So shout out Integrity, wish you all the best, baby girl. This interview was very, very, very cool, man. It was kick back, it was laid back. The conversation was so honest. Like I keep saying, honesty in a conversation, man, makes it for a better interview. And then episode 11, yeah, these boys are on fire. You're talking about the political structure of Klerksdorp, how SMEs are not really doing what they're supposed to do, the LED department, social development department. They gave props as well. They weren't just all negative. They gave props to situations where people they know are benefited. They changed their lifestyles from poverty, gangsterism to them being young entrepreneurs. The other gentlemen were from Kuma. They were speaking about how job creation in Kuma is declining and how the mining sector is not really benefiting the people anymore. So that interview, man, like, they shed light on a whole lot of things, and they also broke down on how you as a person that maybe you don't have money for you to go to school. They broke down the structure from the ground up on how you can register your company, you go to your SMEs, LED department, up until to a level where your company, regardless of what service you provide, can be up there with the big boys. So they were very emotional, but they were speaking the truth, and they were articulate about everything they were speaking about, you know. So I'm going to interview them individually as well in the communities as time goes by, because they really had a lot to share. And then we go to episode 12. Yeah, episode 12 was a bit nerve-wracking, I'm not going to lie, because we were speaking to Precious, a professional pediatrician. She does, what you call this, midwife. You know, she can call her if your lady is pregnant, she delivers the babies at home. She was talking about teenage pregnancy, talking about how men don't go to regular checkups. From a professional point of view, she was speaking about how people are treated in hospitals. You know, she was talking about the dangers of what we eat, what we consume. And she was also speaking about her life story, which was very, very entertaining. How she came from Soweto to Klerksdorp, moving around Orkney and all of that up until she had her own house in Klerksdorp. How she opened up her surgery in CBD. You know, it was very nerve-wracking to speak to someone professional like that on that caliber, because when you go into her surgery, you see all the degrees on the wall and stuff like that. But I'm glad she made it easy by being natural and open. You know, she spoke very well about her profession, and she spoke well of her entertaining lifestyle and how she hustled to get where she is, the extra work she was doing outside of nursing so that she can do what she needs to do. And we go to episode 13, where I was speaking with Palisa. Palisa owns a nail and beauty salon in CBD. You know, she was talking about how it feels to be a black woman owning a shop in the CBD, a beauty shop in the CBD, the competition, the recognition, you know. And she also spoke about her life story. I love the part where she said she went to Heathrow, London with a toothbrush, roll-on and sneakers because she wasn't allowed to go through customs with her bags. She was very honest, man. She was very honest about her life and how her family helped her to open up shop, you know, and she was very honest on her ambitions furthermore, on what she wants to do and how she wants her brand to grow, you know. That was a very interesting conversation, man. Like, she was a good conversationist, you know. She was honest, and like I keep repeating, honesty is key, man. And yeah, that's it, guys. That was episode 13. This is episode 14. Big Talk with STAWELA on Eric Tip TV. Episode 15 is going to drop. Trust that. We will keep pushing, we ain't stopping for nothing. We will keep pushing, you know. Like you keep saying, you know, somebody with an interesting story, holla at me, holla at Sipo. We can get this work on, man. We can grow the product, grow the stories of Northwest, because we got a lot of stories to tell, and there's no production that's helping us out. We're doing this by ourselves, you know, we're working hard. So anybody that knows somebody with an interesting story to tell, sit down with us. We will do that. Thank you very much for watching. Keep on subscribing, keep on liking, keep on sharing, hit that notification bell. You know, get your educated TV barcode on your playlist, defines you, your STAWELA merchandise, and we will keep growing, man. Shout out to everybody that's helping me, everybody in the background. I'm gonna put them in front of the camera one day. I can see all the hard work we're putting in, man. Shout out. And I'm gonna put a poster also of the editing director, so you can check out his cleaning of sneakers service, more cleaning. You go put the poster up in the interview. If you got your kick game, you know, you got your exclusive kicks that you need touch up on, you know, he's the assistant director. Yo, come in the camera first for you, man. Come on, let the people see you. He's helping me out with the directing, the editing. Come this side, B. Come this side, B. Don't be shy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's the boy that's helping me out, Moleti Muloyi, aka Mo, aka J Smokes. You know what I mean? We will put out the poster of his company that he's pushing. He has a sneaker cleaning service, caps as well, exclusive bags as well. So you need anything that you feel it's close to you and it's dirty, you don't want to mess it up, hit him up. He's got all the right products to clean it and make it look spanking new from the shop. Episode 14, it's a wrap. Hala.